So yeah, I'm going to start by saying thank you very much to Purley Food Hub for its really generous support of Croydon Refugee Day Centre. As Nick said, as Trevor said, you've been supporting for really quite a long time. I only joined as the manager in March, but yeah, I know that your support has been ongoing. So the Croydon Refugee Day Centre, our vision is that asylum seekers and refugees in Croydon and beyond are supported both with their basic practical needs, but also to integrate into and thrive in the UK. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about what we're doing at the moment. So we have three main projects. What we call a practical support centre, which runs on a Tuesdays, and we welcome people through the doors and they access a variety of different things, second-hand clothing, toiletries, food parcels, some other support such as household goods. We have what we call Wednesday Welcome Project, where people come for activities and well-being, English lessons and support and practice. We have dance classes there at the moment. We're about to start sewing. So a variety of activities. And we have an outreach project that goes into mainly 2 of the hotels across Croydon, providing families and individuals with some one-to-one support. And we have some sort of welfare casework support that runs across all 3 projects. Over the first 6 months of this year, so up to the end of June, we supported approximately 500 adults and 400 children from Croydon and slightly into the surrounding areas. Some of those people we saw, once or twice for practical support, and some we've seen more or less every week in that time period. So the level of support really varies, but those are the sort of overall numbers. What the generous donation from the Purley Food Hub does is enable us to provide food parcels. We mainly provide food parcels for people living in dispersal accommodation, so who are not in the hotels in the asylum system, where the hotels are catered, not brilliantly, but they are. So that's what our main food parcels go to. We've also started a new project this year, being funded by a new funder for us, which is a food voucher project. So far this is only running at 1 hotel in Croydon, but we hope to be able to extend it. So at one of the hotels, we're able to provide monthly food vouchers for everybody who's got a child 10 or under. And that makes a real difference for families. It's an equivalent of the sort of Healthy Start voucher that families with children of up to sort of 5 get, but not if you're an asylum seeker. If you're a low-income family in the UK, you can get Healthy Start vouchers unless you're seeking asylum. We run that for up to 10-year-olds because the situation around food in the hotels is very difficult. For families, for children, there are lots of reports of children finding it very difficult to eat the food provided because it doesn't meet their cultural needs, because they're traumatised and they're from a background of trauma. So providing a small amount of food vouchers gives their parents some choice, some ability to buy fresh fruit, to buy what they'll eat. So those are sort of 2 main food projects, and Purley Food Hub support goes mainly towards the food parcels. I thought I'd speak a little bit about the sort of current situation for asylum seekers in Croydon at the moment. So at the last estimate, which I managed to get from the sort of Council and Home Office, which may well have changed by now, there were almost 1,100 asylum seekers in hotels across Croydon, and many more in dispersal accommodation. For those people who are staying in hotels, they get access to basic meals, basic toiletries, and approximately £9 a week to meet all our other needs. So that's any travel needs, any clothing needs, schools for the children, the school provision, uniform, etc. So it's a really tiny amount. For those living in dispersal accommodation, the sort of next stage of the asylum system, where they will be in shared accommodation, possibly a flat, a house, they're getting approximately £45 a week, but are self-catering because they need to buy their own food from that. And just to sort of give a comparison, that's approximately 58% of the standard universal credit rate. So it's a lot lower than people get on universal credit. So this is what the people we support are facing at the moment. They're also facing the increased hostile environment created by the sort of rhetoric and laws that are coming into play in the UK. And it's also worth saying that because of the streamlined asylum process coming in, it is worth being aware that there may be several hundred people who are given leave to remain over the next couple of months in Croydon from the hotels, and then evicted at very short notice. It is very likely that some of these people will end up street homeless, and our organisation will try and support them over that transition, although we're not going to be able to prevent that. So I read what was on the front of your annual report, where it says, "Well, we give thanks for all that God has provided since then. 10 years of a food bank is really not something to celebrate. There should be a righteous anger that there is still a need, and that the need is increasing." I would echo that for our work. But sat against this, we've got an amazing group of about 60 to 70 volunteers who give up their time. You know, some are giving 15 hours plus a week to support people. They do an enormous amount with very, very little. And we've got a wider network of organisations and individuals in Croydon and beyond who are generous, who support us financially, who support us with in-kind donations, like yourselves, and who care and offer support in whatever way they can. So yeah, I wanted to end by saying thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much indeed.